Hey, welcome to EPN. My name is Victor Lucas, and we bring you the latest in everything cool every single day. I am happy to report that the Rundown is now brought to you by our friends from the Vancouver Film School's Game Design Department. Now, today's Rundown is dedicated to our pal Jay Rambo, who has gone through some heavy stuff in his movies, but he always has a kind word to say about EPN. This is your Rundown, Jay Rambo. Nintendo doesn't want to paint multiplayer gamers into a corner, or do they? New details about the multiplayer component of Splatoon 2 have come in. Speaking with Edge magazine, the game's producer Hisashi Nogami revealed that the controversial map rotation system from the first game will be back, although this time around, the maps will be rotated every 2 hours instead of every 4. In most multiplayer games, maps are either selected at random or players are allowed to vote on maps from a big list. But in Splatoon, only 2 maps are available at any given time, with the available choices refreshed every 4 hours. Cutting the time in half to 2 hours in Splatoon 2 means players will get to see new maps more often, but the basic idea of map rotations is still there. Some people love it and others hate it. Those who hate it complain that it means you'll end up playing the same map over and over again in the same sitting. But Nintendo likes it because it means you have to think carefully about what weapons and strategies work better with each map combination. What do you think? Are map rotations a good idea, or do they totally suck? Let us know in the comments below. Splatoon 2 will splatter the Nintendo Switch on July 21st. The makers of the science fiction film The Martian are taking us on another realistic outer space voyage. 20th Century Fox has picked up the big screen rights to the Martian author Andy Weir's latest book, Artemis. The book, which won't hit shelves until this fall, takes place in a futuristic human colony on the moon, and like The Martian, it promises to have plenty of detailed world building based on real-life science. It's no surprise that Fox picked up the rights to the book. They financed and distributed The Martian, which paid off big time, exceeding expectations to earn more than $630 million worldwide. There's no word yet if the Martian director Ridley Scott will be involved in the new adaptation, although he does have a close relationship with Fox as well, and recently finished making the new Alien Covenant for the studio. That film hits North America next week. We're looking forward to a new film from Fox and Andy Weir. The Martian's scientific realism is pretty rare, especially in big-budget studio movies, so getting another movie in the same vein is pretty exciting. Zombies rise from the dead, and apparently zombie video games can rise from the dead as well. The troubled zombie game Dead Island 2 hasn't been canceled despite rumors of its untimely demise. In a statement to Eurogamer, publisher Deep Silver says that the game is still very much alive and they're excited about the progress being made behind closed doors. This is the first official word we've heard about the game in more than a year, so fans who were worried about its cancellation can breathe a sigh of relief. Dead Island 2 has had a troubled development, to say the least. It was first announced at E3 2014 and was slated for a spring 2015 launch before being delayed several times. Deep Silver took the project away from the original studio, Yager Development, citing creative differences, and handed it off to another studio, Sumo Digital. Now that we know the project is still alive, no new release window has been named, but Deep Silver says new information will be revealed soon. And another big zombie game is running into some trouble of its own. The new Walking Dead game from Payday developer Overkill Software has been delayed once again. The project, which was first announced in 2014 for a 2016 release, is now slated to land in the second half of 2018. Overkill says they need more time in order to make sure the game can reach its full potential, which is the same reason cited for previous delays. It's unclear how far along the game really is, and the only footage that's been released so far is a trailer from E3 2015. We do know that the game, like Overkill's Payday series, will be first-person with a strong emphasis on co-op, with a new story and characters overseen by Walking Dead creator Robert Kirkman. That's about all we know for now, but we'll sink our teeth into new details when they come in. The Late Show host Stephen Colbert is stirring up plenty of controversy and plenty of free advertising, but things might be getting worse. The American Federal Communications Commission, which regulates radio and television broadcasts, has announced plans to investigate Colbert after a controversial joke he made in a monologue last week. In a lengthy rant about President Donald Trump, Colbert made a lewd joke about Trump and his relationship to Russian President Vladimir Putin.
The only thing your mouth is good for is being Vladimir Putin's holster.
This sparked a backlash among Trump supporters on social media, and now the FCC's chairman, Ajit Pai, a recent Trump appointee, has vowed to launch a formal investigation. He says that his office has received complaints about the joke and they'll respond accordingly. If the FCC finds that the joke violated obscenity laws, they have the power to issue fines, but Colbert and his network CBS have the ability to dispute this in court. Colbert himself is standing by the joke, and organizations like the Writers Guild of America have slammed the FCC, calling this nothing more than a politically motivated attack on free speech. This sort of thing seems to crop up every few years, with controversial video games, shows, or movies stirring up backlash from politicians and the media. The outcome of this battle could have repercussions for years to come, so we'll be paying close attention. Capcom's latest fighting game is still fighting for your attention. The publisher has announced a new DLC fighter for Street Fighter V. This time around, they're adding Ed, a character first introduced in Street Fighter IV, whose fighting style is basically a crossover between Balrog and M. Bison. He'll be available to play from May 11th to 14th through the Capcom Fighters Network beta, with a full release coming soon. Ed is the third fighter included in the Street Fighter V Season 2 Character Pass, with 3 more characters set to roll out later this year. Capcom is continuing to support the game despite the fact that it hasn't sold nearly as well as they were expecting. The good news is that despite the poor sales, Street Fighter V still has a loyal fan following and continues to have a major presence in the esports world. It will once again be part of the annual EVO Championship Series, which takes place this July in Las Vegas. That's it for our rundown today. Hey, if you are interested in a career in games or entertainment, check out the website of our friends at Vancouver Film School. That's at vfs.edu. We'll see you again tomorrow with a brand new episode. And don't forget, we've got plenty of other cool EP content for you to check out. And if you dig it, don't forget to hit subscribe.